Draft, I always think it's interesting. I love to see the kids draft them. We got some characters over here in the Gold Squad. You might want to interview them. I think they're available. Are the captains available for? Are captains available afterwards? Or they got
Coach, I'll defer to you.
I don't know. Maybe the Blue Squad. Maybe Tipton. But we got some characters, and I think it was a fun draft. Again, I'm sure you guys can analyze where things were picked. To me, there's some questions about where some guys get picked, and some of them I kind of see what they see. But I think it's important, where guys get picked and why they get picked where they do. And I think, when you look at the order, I think, and I say this every year, the ones that are ordered, the ones that are picked late means that there's probably some depth there, and they weren't worried about those guys. Okay, and it was interesting to see Kenny pick maybe 8th round quarterback, so they feel like that. I guess the 2nd round pick was Nick Patty. They feel like there's some competition there. They feel like there's a guy that they can win with. They weren't worried about getting Kenny early. I thought maybe Kenny might be the first pick, but they got some confidence. So I think that's something that you can notice too.
Did you see what they see in Valik in the first running back taken?
Well, again, I can kind of give you my thoughts on that one, but I think they saw 2 bigger backs and 1 electric back, and they thought the other 2 guys are really good, is my thoughts. That's how I take it. And they said, let's get the other guy, and then we'll, I think they feel like they can play with Sibley or A.J. Davis. To me, it's a good thing. It means they think there's get a different speed back, and then these 2 other backs that are really solid. That's how I took it.
Do you find yourself saying, well, I think they're going to go in this direction, then maybe they throw a surprise at you, and you say, that's interesting?
Yeah, a lot of the picks weren't surprised as far as, the draft order, I don't think. But some of the positions they opened up means they took some thought. And these guys didn't know until about 10:30 today that they were picking. So they didn't have a whole lot of time to think either. So hopefully they were studying through spring ball.
The way the offensive line is developing this spring, when you split up the units like that, do you think they're better equipped to run block well on Saturday or protect well?
Well, I'm not sure they're prepared to do either well. Okay,
They might have a tough time.
Yeah, I think that I think the O-line is the toughest spot to play. I think the D-line can mix it up and go. They do in practice. But I would say this, with the way Coach Borbley has moved those O-linemen around, if you saw every practice, he's shuffled them in and out. They've all played right, left, guard, center. They've kind of, he's gotten a great, base as far as an offensive lineman, and we've been happy with where they are. So they've moved around, played different positions. I think this will be the best that they've played, just because of how much different work they've gotten.
Mark Whipple's a pretty obvious choice. What made Corey Sanders your pick as the other head coach?
There was, it's just really mixing it up, through the years. I mean, just trying to, change it up. Other guys have done it, on offense or defense. So, I just try to mix it up.
You're mixing up your 1s and your 2s. Do some teams go 1 in the spring, go 1s against 2s at all?
Yeah, there's, I think there's a lot of teams, especially if they don't feel like they have, the depth to be able to draft like we do. So I think it depends on draft. I think it's, again, I like going to spring game like this because I think it's kind of the end of 15 days. The kids have some fun doing this, and they have fun splitting it up. I think it's, if it was just 1s on 2s, it'd be a maybe a little bit harder hitting scrimmage. There's it even becomes more intense. I think. I always tell them as we go into Jersey 1 and Jersey 2, the last 2 Saturdays, that those are the biggest scrimmages because they are going against each other. It just becomes a big day.
Now that spring, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Now that spring's winding down, your thoughts of the spring session overall?
I think overall, I'm happy with where the spring is. I mean, we got 1 more shorts practice tomorrow. No contact, just getting them ready for Saturday. But I'm happy with where we are after at least 13 today. I mean, the intensity's good. I think the confidence is high on both sides of the ball. I think the defense has confidence in what they're doing, how they're doing it, and how they're playing. And I think the offense has confidence, which, I think is huge. That both of them are coming out of this spring ball with confidence that they can move the ball on offense, they can score TDs, and defense feels like they can stop people. So I think that's a positive.
How much is it a priority on Saturday to put on a show for fans? Put up points, get people excited, give them a good time.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could just put out, maybe we can call up a high school team in the air and maybe just score points on them. I don't think the score of the game is going to matter. It might make you feel better or feel more confident, but, I'm in for, a good scrimmage. I want to come out of it healthy. I'm not worried about how many points are scored. If it was 58-52, I'll be happy. If it's 7-3, I'll be happy. It doesn't matter. I want to come out healthy. The points tomorrow, because the offense is all split up. If I was worried about that, we'd go out there and go 1s on 2 or 1s on 1s and go.
Who's not playing?
Those last guys. I think DeMar, Hamlin,
Dane
Jackson, Jimmy Morrissey, of course, Baldonado, and Michael Slahudu. The same guys that have been out all spring really.
How's Jimmy been doing?
And they're all going to be they'll all be ready to go.
How's Jimmy been doing?
Jimmy's doing really good. He kind of gets a practice. You guys probably, if you peek down there afterwards, you always see him working out. He gets a post-practice workout. We're just being smart. He could probably go out there and play, but we know Jimmy can play. We're not risking anything. And the same thing with really Dane and tomorrow, or both could go tomorrow, I believe. And I was surprised that Elias Reynolds is going to go tomorrow. I still may DQ him. I think the Gold Squad will be upset.
So Sal Houdin will be 100% in August?
Yes.
Hey, Pat, is that why you had the sidebar there when the Reynolds pick came up?
Yeah, just like, he hasn't gone in a couple of days, so he'll have limited reps for sure if he goes.
So that might have to be a trade.
There might be a late trade. We'll get you. EJ will get you the trade information.
Weaver was telling us earlier he's hoping that there's going to be some live quarterbacks that the pass rushers actually get to hit on Saturday. Are you going to be
Weaver's
able to...
wrong. I think we're going to put all the quarterbacks in red just so nobody gets hit and just keep it even. It's not fair to make one guy live and the rest not. So we'll probably go all red jerseys for those quarterbacks, make sure they don't get hit. Maybe make it one-hand tag.
We talked to Chase Brown.
Flag.
Chase Brown earlier today. A guy who came in last year looking to play, and obviously didn't see the field much, but it seems like he's getting a lot of work this spring. He was second guard taken. Is he? Are you seeing what you hope to get out of him?
Yeah, I am. Again, that guard position was, even interesting how they picked that one out. And maybe if there was an interesting position, it was that one to see how they went. And, it was good to see Wheeler go high. I think people got confidence in him. And actually, I think Kenny Pickett was on that side where he got picked, and Chase went high as well. So it's good for their confidence. We'll find out what they got. The guard position's, obviously real critical.
The receivers can move around, right? I mean, from the X to the Z to that
They can.
zebra. I guess that's the slot.
Yeah, that's a slot receiver. Yeah, they can move around. We've got guys that are capable of playing both, but we decided to draft them out in certain positions just so what I don't want to see is a guy go out there and try to play a different position Saturday. Talking about scoring points, as Chris talked about, I don't want it to be sloppy. I'd rather them be in a position. I don't want to get mad at a guy because he doesn't know that position. The excuse should not be, well, I never played that position before. I don't really want that. So that's why we decided to at least balance it off. If they play in a position, they better know what they're doing.
How will the format Saturday be similar to what you've done?
Yeah, it'll be similar to be, obviously 4 quarters. I think we got 10-minute quarters, and we'll see how it goes. Should be
Steak and
fun.
lobster for the winners, and what for the losers?
Hot dogs and baked beans. And Amir Watts says he likes it, so I don't know.
No more veggie tray.
They'll probably get some veggies in it too.
You've had people come back to be the honorary captains. I'm not sure you've had 2 guys that are currently in the NFL do it before. What's it mean to have guys who I'm sure have other things they could be doing this time of year come back for that?
First of all, I think the first year we did have Aaron Donald the first year and Larry Fitzgerald. So we've had some guys like that come back. It's awesome to get those guys back. I mean, obviously, Aaron's here every day, so he's back every day. And then to have LaShawn here as well. He doesn't come back all the time, but to get him back, I think is outstanding. Our kids will have fun with him in the locker room.